Welcome to Overly Obsessed, Unsung, and Underground. Ooh, did you come here because your social life has suffered tremendously since your friends are sick and tired of you playing the same damn song over and over again from someone they never heard of?
Or did you just finish looking up your favorite artist's bio on Wikipedia and the artist's song lyrics on Genius.com? But
is it morning?
To me. Shit, I'm tired.
Oh man. Oh, is my video on? No, it's not.
No.
Oh, there we go. What's up? How are you?
Good. I'm a little tired if you can't tell. I'm like, I was celebrating last night.
Oh yeah? What's the occasion? Because
Biden's in office and Trump ain't.
That's what's up.
He won't be come January.
We'll see how they're gonna get him out of there. They're going to pry him. They're going to pry his hands from the desk. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh my God, it's crazy. But it felt so good to it felt good to see everybody else happy. I'm just like, it was like I seen a clip of this Native American guy, and he was doing his traditional dance. I don't know if you've seen that, but that was going viral in New Mexico.
Okay.
And that was really nice. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Imagine having to celebrate that somebody lost their job. When was the last time you celebrated that somebody lost their job? How bad of a job did you have to be doing that people are applauding, dancing in the streets?
When I tell you, I was working with, like, all of no shade, but I was working with somebody who was really difficult to work with. And like she had, I don't know, with her, it was just like a lot of microaggressions, racial discrimination, age discrimination. Like she would just make comments and it was just really difficult to deal with her. But when the COVID thing came up and I traveled, like I went to Mexico. And when I came back, all hell broke loose. You got COVID, you need to get tested. And it was just like a lot of tension and pressure in the air, and it just didn't feel good. But she left on her own terms. Like she was sick of it. It was just too much. And when I tell you, we had a party. Like we were like, thank God she is gone. It was like the Wicked Witch of the West. Like it was crazy. But
well, you know what go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm like, sometimes it be like that.
Yeah. Now, you know what I will say? You know, there was a while there where we thought, first he got impeached, right? So there was a while there where we thought, okay, well, now that he's impeached, we're actually going to be able to get him out of there. But the problem with that was, well, then who's the new president? And that's Mike Pence. And I'd much rather Donald Trump be the president than Mike Pence. So I'm glad we were able to get him out of there. Right. And Mike has no chance, right? I need Mike. I need Mike further away from the White House than Trump. Trump can lay down the street. He can go back to Trump Tower, and that's cool. But I need Mike Pence to go to another planet. Like I need that get out of here for real.
That's so true.
So I'm glad that worked out. And it's interesting to see where he won, right? Like so many places where you didn't even, and even in places where he lost, like even like him losing right now in North Carolina, he should be losing by a much larger margin in North Carolina.
I'm disappointed about that one. I'm like, what is going on with my folks down there? But I didn't even realize that so many people weren't registered. It just, it's out of sight, out of mind.
It's a lot.
But it was remarkable to see how many people like Stacey Abrams got together. That was like, that's powerful. Hi, Bookie.
Hola. ¿Cómo está? How are you?
What was I getting ready to say? I was getting ready to say, you said, ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, muy bien.
That's what's up.
Well, we here.
Yep.
And let me calm down with this chewing of the gun. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
I was okay with it, but
let me check it out.
Mike, tell her the truth. Don't lie to her. Don't lie. Tell her that she cannot be chewing gum like that. That is very.
Hey, I guess
I don't know about you guys, but I work remotely, like 100%. And so I'm used to people, dogs in the background, cats in the background, people eating lunch on the phone. I done heard it all. I was in a meeting. It was a mandatory meeting. My boss, the person who called this mandatory meeting, we are listening to whatever's going on in the background at Pep Boys while we're all on this mandatory meeting that just had to happen. And I'm like, how you going to call a mandatory meeting and not even be sitting at your desk? So there's nothing you can, like, I've seen it all at this point. At this point, I've seen it. But I do it too. The worst thing they could have did was put a Zoom app on my cell phone, because I'll be taking meetings from the mall. I'll be all kind of places pretending I'm at home. I'm like, wait, I'm right here in front of my computer.
Y'all never experienced anybody doing something they wasn't supposed to do and then the camera was still on?
Not with the camera still on, but definitely with the mic still hot. Like somebody thought they were muted, but they weren't.
Okay.
Yeah. The lady the funniest thing about it was exactly what everybody was thinking. They just so happened to thought they muted themselves and said it out loud, but it was what everybody else was thinking. Luckily, it was a comment about the client, and the client had already dropped from the call, but the person muted and just went off. I was like, these people are so stupid. They don't even know what they're doing. Just went off. And and so I'm in the chat like, yo.
Yeah,
she was just going off. She was going off, but
that's how I be for my boss. I'd be like, hold up. So we're still on here now. We can hear you.
Thank you, Mass Potential, for being on the OOUU Pod.
Absolutely.
So new season started.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for everyone, a little backstory, not too much, but yeah, we're all high school buddies.
Yeah.
Were we middle school buddies too?
Yeah.
I remember. Did you go to Eisenhower?
Didn't you go to Eisenhower?
Yeah. I guess we are.
Buddies too.
Yeah.
That's true.
We go back.
That's true.
We go back.
Dang.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I got some goodies for y'all. I got some surprises for y'all. So let me know when you're ready for that.
Ooh.
I pulled some stuff out the archives that I wanted
to. Archives.
I love surprises. Oh, yeah.
I'll pull some stuff out the archives. So y'all let me know when you're ready for that.
It's going to be fun.
Ooh. I'm not ready.
Well, I don't know if you have listened to the first season and you see how our interviews go, but we like to have a really good time in the beginning with a trivia.
Okay, and I was watching I think it was the last episode. I don't remember the name of the artist, but I was watching. He was like sitting on the couch. He was like, his whole body was in view. I don't remember. You probably remember. And I was talking to my wife. And I was talking to my wife, and I was like, oh no, I'm terrible at trivia. Like, I'm the worst. So this is going to be awful, because they're going to ask me a question, and I'm like, I don't know any of this. So
we got to skip. We got to skip a lot, y'all.
Grain of salt. But you know what it is. So I'll be honest right up front. Mm-hmm. Because I do music, I used to rap. I still kind of rap, but I used to rap, and I make beats and all that kind of. I do video and I do some graphic design. People are always just assume that my music knowledge is A1, and it's not. Mm-hmm. It's not at all. It's not at all. You ask me, Michael, what's the most recent song you're listening to, and it's going to be a year old at least. Mm-hmm. So good luck, guys. Good luck.
But I think that's the beauty of like art in general. It's just like you could be super beginner, super naive in certain areas, but still create something great. And so and this is also the reason why we're doing it, to encourage. You don't have to be in a certain place in your life, in your journey to put out something great or to put out anything at all. So, yeah.
Okay.
So you ready for this trivia, Mike?
Nope, but let's do it. Do I sound okay? I can turn the mic up.
You sound amazing. No, you look amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sound
cool.
Great.
Thank you. All right.
Excellent. So since this trivia game is called OOUU Sampled.
Okay.
So do you have kind of an idea what it's about?
I think so, but I don't want to be wrong, but I think so.
Okay.
I like where this is going.
So this is, how nowadays a lot of songs are sampled, and everybody always samples different beats. And of course, since you know about music and producing and everything, you already know about that. So I'm going to give you I'm going to start it off because you should know. So which is my favorite song. This is number one. This is my favorite song ever. It's by M Tune, and they created it in 1983 called Juicy Fruit. So do you know of any artists that have sampled Juicy Fruit? And they go, Juicy Fruit.
Ah.
Juicy.
You know, if it was playing, I think I'd be able to pick it out.
All right, no, so
I'll
sing
sing your
it.
part. You know very well who you are.
Oh, Juicy.
Yeah.
No.
By
Yeah.
who? By who?
By who?
By Biggie, Notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. That was easy.
You got
okay.
it. See? All right.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right, cool.
Okay. Next one, I'm going to give you number 2.
Okay.
So this one is by Otis Redding, and he had this in 1966. And it's called Try a Little Tenderness.
Sing the rest, Ree.
Sing the whole song. Start from the beginning. Sing the instruments too.
Like I can't go because he be going off.
Nah.
Yep. Try a
Otis by Kanye and Jay-Z.
Go ahead, see, Mike. You good at this? You got it.
I mean, you guys are giving me softballs. I'll take them now. I'll take them. Edit this part out. Edit the part out where I'm like.
Yes. Okay. Noted. All right. Go ahead to up to 5, Ree.
All right. Okay. So the next one is by Chick, and this was in 1979, and it's Good Times. You want me to sing the song?
Yeah, that's the best part. That's the best. See, I thought that it was a trivia like this was on me. This is really just you singing. This is that's what this is us just listening to you sing over and over again. You can call it what you want, trivia, whatever, but it's really just American Idol. Go.
I gotta remember how to sing it.
Okay.
Good. Hold on. 1 second. Give me a second, because I gotta remember how to.
It's
sing
not
it.
Good Time.
No, it's not that one. It's
okay.
not. It's not.
That's what I was thinking.
Good Times.
Oh, wait. Oh no.
It's a rap song.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, you think? Oh, here today.
Feel like okay, so I feel like I've heard this sample multiple times.
Okay.
Several times.
So I know one of them. So I know that one of them is Ghetto Ballin' by Master P, but I'm sure that's not the one you guys are thinking of, because that came out on it was an album called Game Face that sold seven copies, and I bought 2 of them. So I know that's not the one. I know that's not the one, but I can't think of the popular one though.
Tell them, Ree. Tell them 2 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you 2. So 2 of them, one you should already know, Rock the Bell by LL Cool J.
Yo, I wasn't even thinking of that. I wasn't even thinking. You know what? My brain is in like, I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
And then another popular one was by the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight.
Oh no. So they were both okay. So I wasn't gonna get those then. Okay.
Yeah,
my brain is just not there. My brain was not in that time zone.
Yes. So I mean, it's back in the day, but they were both popular. And you really kind of don't hear it. You hear the beat, but they kind of like did something over top of it. I don't know what it would be called because I'm not.
But we'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll learn. Man.
So now your homework, is to go listen to Ghetto Ballin' by Master P.
Yes.
So you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess. You know, I'm not saying you have to enjoy it. You just gotta let it play for a couple 30 seconds or so, and you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Okay. All right. The next one is, of course, Michael Jackson, and he always has a lot of samples anyway. But this one is the Jackson 5. And this one is called, I'm going to play it for you. Okay. All right.
It's so many. It's so many.
No.
Mike. It's so many, Mike. It's
so
many.
So many, Mike.
And I can't think of none of them. Hold on. Oh my goodness.
And we doing all, mostly it's all rap. It's all rap.
Yeah. You should know.
What's up?
Izzo by Jay-Z.
Hello. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my song too. I had to process it.
That's why I said I know you should definitely know that one.
Yeah,
and also, if you didn't know, but it was also sampled by Criss Cross Jump.
Yes, of course it was. You know what's so funny? Once you say it, I can immediately hear it. It immediately plays in my head, which means if it was sampled in Jump, then that means it was also sampled in what's the Nipsey Hussle's first single? Because he sampled Jump. What was it? Nipsey Hussle.
Which one you're talking about too? This was when he this is when he first came out. This was his,
before anybody cared about him at all.
Before anybody even knew who he was.
Hustle in the House. That's what it was called.
Yep.
Hustle in the House. Hey, it's Hustle in the House. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's so funny. So that was my first exposure to Nipsey Hussle, and I really liked that song. And then I didn't hear anything from him for like forever. So when everybody was all of a sudden like huge Nipsey Hussle fans, I was like, where y'all been?
Right.
Anyway.
Thank you.
But there's a lot of artists. There's a lot of artists like that.
Remember Mace? Mace did it, right? Or with
did.
What's the group? What's the name of the group? Harlem World, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Harlem World song?
He did.
And and Biggie did too with One More Chance.
What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Give me one more chance. Biggie, give me one more chance.
Yeah.
And it's like, one more chance.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And my last one
that.
for you. And then Danny's going to take over. So my last one is Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing. It's a lot. I'm gonna play it for you because these two you're gonna be like, what? But you might get it.
Okay, so I know that Eric Sermon sampled this song, but I'm sure that's not what we're talking about. And I can't remember the name of the song anyway.
He did though.
Yeah. And then like I know it's an interpolation of First of the Month, but I don't is that the one we're talking about?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is why you are the best. This is why you're the best.
That's not what I was thinking. Okay.
Let them know.
That's
exactly who
who's the second one?
And the second one is Chris Brown, Rock You Back to Sleep.
I don't think I know that one.
Rock You Back to Sleep. You don't know that song?
I don't think so.
Look,
that's a perfect example of when I say about like my music stuff. Like my favorite Chris Brown song is probably "Thank You," which is the last track on his first album. That's my favorite Chris Brown song, right? So when people start talking about
my favorite one is Yo.
Oh, of course,
yeah,
of course, of course, of course. Here's the problem. I'm so competitive. I'm one of the most competitive people and so this is killing me because it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't. Oh my goodness.
Okay, do you happen to know who my favorite rapper of all time is? Mine's personally.
I don't.
Okay. You don't remember, just think back in it. You don't remember at all. I used to obsess over this one rapper all the time.
Was it DMX?
Yes.
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 Okay, so before you continue, let me tell you why I remember that. I remember that because one day I had just so happened to sketch the Rough Riders R, like their little logo. Yes. and I never saw somebody want something from me so bad. You were like, I gotta have that. And I was like, I need you to chill. I need you to chill. We're like 13. How do you gotta relax? So that's why I remember that. That's so funny. Let me know when you're ready for these blasts from the past right here. But anyway,
okay. If it's related, you could go ahead.
It's not really related.
Okay.
It's not really. It's just, it's just a little bit of fun. But okay.
Yeah. So
DMX. Did he have a song called Ain't No Sunshine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did.
And was there another one?
Yeah, the other one is I don't know if you guys heard the song. You probably have if you're a Tupac fan, but Tupac had Soldier Story. I'm sorry, I said Soldier Boy. Soldier Story. Mm-hmm. And he sampled that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is the next one.
We got 2 more and then we be good.
Okay. Here's the worst part. I can only picture the song. When you play the song, I'm like, I can only hear the song.
Oh, Parliament Flashlight. So who sampled them? But he's doing really good.
You really doing real good for real.
Come on,
Snoop. It's some Snoop song, but I can't think of the name of the song.
The Shiznit.
Yep, it's called The Shiznit.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you better go ahead. For second season, you going in with this trivia.
You guys are being too kind, man. I appreciate that. Because I want to win, right?
This the last one, baby.
One.
All right. There's some hoes in this house. Oh, okay. Wow. That's easy. But look, that's funny too. I actually remixed that song.
Hey, you on the list? You on it?
That's funny.
Yes. Oh, well, you got 100%.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Go Max Potential. Let me find out. You won the whole trivia game.
Do I get some kind of... Okay, so back here on my back wall, I got some space over here if you guys want to send me some sort of certificate or something.
That would be awesome.
Right.
Let's
Boom.
do it.
And then I can tell the story on my wall. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. No rush.
The first person who ever got 100%. Goodness gracious. On the trivia.
I'll take that. It's like I feel like you guys ever watch Hot Ones?
Yes.
Where they interview the people while they eat the hot wings. Yeah. Why do you hate it?
Because it don't make sense to me. Okay, you know this shit is hot. Okay, you're like puking over everything.
Yeah,
like I just can't. I can't.
Funniest thing about it is the show's been on for like 100 episodes or whatever, and people still go on and they're still surprised that the wings are hot. And I'm like, dude, there's nobody in the last 100 episodes that you would trust with your life that you wouldn't just take them at face value when they couldn't eat the wings and almost died.
And y'all still going on there every time. Like, why?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's how I feel. So I feel like because I just won, somebody's going to come on and they're going to bring their own question. That's the only way you can beat. That's the only way you can beat 100% is if you add to it. So you guys what you got to do now is you got to make the questions more difficult.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
But no, so you know what's so funny though? Because I feel like we have, and it's not as, I also feel like it's not as like fun because it's like you got the person really struggling. Like they really be struggling. Like, God damn, I don't know this.
Yeah. They be really struggling. Like it be bad. And we be sitting there like,
we need a timer. We need a timer. We need a timer.
Tough. And that was my concern. My concern is if you ask me 10 questions and I don't have the answer 10 times, that doesn't make for a great show, does it? Because it's just a lot of everybody's cringing. Like, dude, try harder.
We count on Mass though. Mass come through.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. But again, thank you for coming to the OOUU Pod.
Yeah,
no, of course.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So how's 2020? What's going on? It's almost over. So
oh man,
how you feeling? How you been?
So I would say the craziest part of 2020 is so in February or so. No, well, actually, so in 2019, my wife and I we came to Charlotte to visit, right? We were like, I've got a remote job. So there's no reason why we have to live in very expensive Northern Virginia. For anybody who's listening and is familiar, it's very expensive. You might as well be living in San Francisco. But her family is close by. Her family also lives in Northern Virginia. So that's, otherwise I'd still be in Laurel. Right. So that's why we moved there.
That's where I am.
Hey, so we moved. So we were just looking like, where should we go? We should go somewhere down south, right? Where it's a little cheaper and all of that. So we did that. We visited Charlotte, loved Charlotte. So we were like, all right, cool. We're going to move down there. We found an apartment and we got approved, all of that, came down to Charlotte. Now we're like, okay, we were living in a three bedroom, 3-level townhouse, paying something ridiculous a month. Now we're going to move to Charlotte. We're going to get us a little small 2-bedroom apartment because we're going to be outside all the time. Don't matter what's going on. We're going to be outside. We're going to the bars. We're at the clubs. We at the everywhere. And of course, COVID hit the same week, And so we ain't been nowhere. So we were in the apartment for a couple of months, maybe 4 months. And then we were like, look, if we're going to be inside all the time, we need to be inside something bigger because we're tired of stepping on each other. Yeah. So we moved about 30 minutes north of Charlotte. And now we're in a house, we back in a house. It's still cheaper than Northern Virginia. But I'd say that's probably been the craziest part. That's probably been the craziest part is just we came down here expecting. So when people keep asking, how's Charlotte? We're like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you when it opens up.
Just saying, that's a good problem to have, though.
It is. It is. It's definitely, I'd rather be inside somewhere cheaper than inside somewhere more expensive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's just, everybody asks, how is it? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. No. But it sucks, it hasn't been great like for my mental health, you know what I mean? I'm already away from all of my friends. Not that I was, in the streets like that anyway, right. But I'm already away from all my friends and family and having to be in the house all the time and not being able to socialize down here. I don't know. It's just, it kind of sucks, but I try to keep it together, but I'd be lying if I was saying like, I'm the same, ever since coronavirus started. It's not fun, but it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I definitely understand. It's like you are really like in the house.
Yeah.
Especially working from home every day. It's like, it sometimes takes a toll on you because it's like, dang, can I get outside for just a little bit? I just need a little people time, a little bit, but
yeah. And then I feel bad because, I'm doing all this complaining about how I feel and all that, but I got a good job working from home, remote. I ain't sick. My family ain't sick. I got a house. I ain't, we ain't missing no bills. Not none of the bills we couldn't call in and be like, let me tell you, I done lied to every credit I got.
Hello.
I've been like, oh no, coronavirus ruined my life. I can't pay you this month. No, and damn well, I ain't did nothing but put that in the bank. But
Same
I mean, look, the way I see it is if something goes wrong, I'm gonna pay Capital One or I'm gonna pay myself, right? Because if something go wrong, that Capital One bill wasn't getting paid anyway. Right. So if it's cool with y'all for me to hold on to it, I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to it.
Yeah. And especially if you're giving me that option, you think I'm not gonna take it?
Yo, and every time I log into the app, they say right on, it's a little yellow exclamation mark that said, if you're struggling during this time, just let us know. And I'm like, I'm struggling all the time. I'm struggling this time.
All right, so we want to get into the meaning of mass potential. What does that mean? Where did it come from? Like, what happened?
All right. This is gonna be fun. Okay. So my very first rap name was Big Ted.
What?
My very first rap name was Big Ted. It was literally short for one time I was in class. This had to have been like 5th grade, 6th grade or something. I was in class and the girl said I look like a big teddy bear. Boom.
Oh,
Big Ted. That was it.
And it stuck with you.
hadn't written a rap in my life. After that wasn't going to work at all. So then my rap name, so then I was like, all right, I need to choose a new rap name. So and this was, I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know if you guys are ever really big into video games or anything like that, but but Mortal Kombat 6, I don't know, some Mortal Kombat had come out. And when that Mortal Kombat came out, it was the first time where you could pick so for fighting games, you were allowed to pick fighting games started being you can pick 2 people and switch out, between those 2 people while you're playing. Yeah. And so this Mortal Kombat came out, it was the first one where you could pick 3 people. So, and I used to love Jax, right? And I would pick Jax 3 times. So that's when I decided my rap name was going to be Jax Trey, which is JAX X times and then Trey, TRE. So that was my rap name, which was the worst rap name ever. And that was probably the one I had for the longest until I changed it to Mass Potential. And the reason I changed it to Mass Potential was mostly because nobody could pronounce Jax Trey and they would say it wrong all the time, which I don't blame them. It not only is it a ridiculous name, but it has a ridiculous back. Everything about it was ridiculous.
And which character was that? That's not the one that freezes. No,
that's the one. That's the one with the metal arms. Jax Trey is the one with the metal arms.
Yep. Okay.
And who's the one that be like, get over here? Who's that?
That is Scorpion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Scorpion, and the one that be freezing is Sub-Zero.
Okay.
Yeah, Sub-Zero. I remember that.
There you go. So that had to change. So then I was just like, and so this is very anticlimactic. But then I was like, okay, so I need a new rap name. Who am I? What represents me, right? Mm-hmm. And it was Mass Potential because I'm big and I got a lot of potential, and that was it.
I love it.
Mass Potential. Now, what I will tell you is I have, and I continue to get a lot of compliments on that name. Most people are like, yo, that's super unique. I love it. It's great. And it's not one of those names that's been taken already. You know what I mean? It's not little something, the big something, the young something. It's so usually I'm always able when a new, excuse me, when TikTok came out, I was able to get Mass Potential right away. When it's time to register a username or a website, it's always available. So I pick something unique enough that it's always going to be mine.
Yes. Well, RIP to Jax 32321 333 Trey.
X-Trey.
So a couple of extra caveats. So once upon a time, I thought I was a producer earlier than now, right? When I'm talking producer name in 8th grade was J. It was J Tracknificent. Ooh. That was my producer name.
I like that though. Back then.
Yeah, I'm like, that's long. I would have been like
J Tracknificent.
So.
Nobody could pronounce that either because it's just a lot of letters. There's a lot going on in J Tracknificent. And I used to spell it as one word, so it was a mess.
So impressive.
What else? And then at one point it was William Gator. Couldn't tell you nothing about that. Couldn't tell you.
I didn't even realize people went through names as much as this.
It was an issue. It was an issue.
Yeah.
And then I went by then I had an alias. Even while I was Mass Potential, I had this alias that was oh my goodness, what was it? Oh, I can't remember now. Hold on, I gotta look it up. Oh, Langston Huge.
Look now, I'm about to throw this mic down. I'm about to throw this mic down real bad.
Langston Huge, yes. So every time I would do a song that was retrospective or I would call myself Langston Huge. So
wow, that is
good
so
stuff.
Impressive.
Good stuff.
I love it. This is everything.
This really is. Oh
my God, Langston Huge. I can't.
This route of making beats is actually my 3rd time where I've actually made good beats.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to say right when I started college and I was making beats, I called myself M.Jeff. Just completely uninspired. I just wanted to be something that was not Mass Potential because I wanted to be this is what I was hoping to happen. I would rap over the M.Jeff beats and people wouldn't know that it was me. So that way I could sell beats to other people without associating myself with it. So if people didn't like me, they could still, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you know, so anyway, so yes. I've had a lot of names.
Yeah.
That's the moral of that story.
Well, Mass, what inspired you to get in music in the first place? Like, as long as I've known you, that's all I knew, like, for you. So, like, where did that come from? Where did that stem from?
It was really just like me, like copying other people, like wanting to be like some of my other favorite rappers, like wanting to be like Jay-Z. I was a huge fan growing up of Timbaland and Magoo.
Oh, I know the whole.
Oh my God!
Don't even get us started.
I was listening to Genuine, and oh my God, on the way to the house today, and I was thinking that same thing. And you know what's so funny, Mike? When I was listening to it, I actually thought of you. I mean, ironically, because it was like I had to come home, and I was just thinking, I was like, dang, I wonder if his favorite producer was them. I
loved it. That whole first cassette tape that I had with Timbaland and Magoo. I know that whole thing, frontwards and backwards.
Strikes. Yeah, so yeah, I was a huge Timbaland and Magoo fan. One of my favorite songs growing up, for whatever reason, was that Genuine song, Same OG. I love that. But what I loved about that was the beat. Like, I love the beat so much. Like, I wasn't even listening to what Genuine was talking about. But so that's what, I mean, honestly, that's what really got me into music. I mean, you know, the very first album I ever owned, except for, so the second album I ever owned, the very first album, so the third. So the very first album I ever owned, hold on, just a quick backstory, just because it's cute. The very first album I ever owned was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soundtrack for the first movie, right? I mean, I was like 3, but that was, or I was in like 3rd grade, but that was the very first album I ever owned, and I used to play it on my Teddy Ruxpin. Not Teddy Ruxpin. What was it?
The little robot. Teddy Ruxpin. That was Teddy.
With the cassette tape
in his tummy.
Okay, boom. So I used to play. So imagine that I'm rocking out to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on a Teddy Ruxpin. So that was the first album I ever owned. The second album I ever owned was another soundtrack. There was a soundtrack to Space Jam. That was the second album I ever owned.
That one?
Love that. Keep on pushing.
Yes.
Moving on up.
Hey.
You couldn't tell me nothing about Coolio. So that was that. The third album that I ever owned, though, the important one, the pivotal one, was It's Dark and Hell is Hot by DMX.
Hello.
That was the third album I ever owned. And you couldn't tell me anything. At that point, I was like, I'm a rapper. I've become a rapper today. So that's how I like got into music. Now, how I became, like, the minute that I took rap seriously, I just want to point something out to you. Behind me on this wall, there is a composition book. Mm-hmm. That composition book is not it's full of raps. It is a composition book full of raps. It is not my composition book. So when we were in high school, and I had rapped before this. I think I'd even made an album in middle school. But when we were in high school, there was a rap group at Laurel High School, the high school that we attended, called Universal Live.
Yeah, okay.
I remember. Mm-hmm.
That rap group consisted of Corey, or his name was Complete.
Yeah.
Will, whose name was Monumental.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what Maverick's name was, but his name was Maverick. And Richard, whose name was Richie Rich.
Yes.
And they were the coolest people I had ever met in my life at that point. Mm-hmm. And it was all because they rapped, right? My very first day that I was at that school, not my first day that I was at school, but the first time I was ever a part of the rap circle, it was, do y'all remember Jamal? He's a rapper now. What's his name? Oh, man.
Actually, you know what? I know who you're talking about.
And he's in a rap group called Diamond City.
Yeah.
But I can't remember his name. EXO. EXO.
Okay.
That's his rap name. So my very first time I was ever in a rap circle, I always just watch people, right? So the very first time I was ever in a rap circle, I battled EXO. I battled Jamal. And I'll never forget, I said something. I don't know what I was saying, but I was like, I'm the right one, like Ray Charles. And
Okay, you said you're the right one, like Ray Charles.
I said I'm the right one, like Ray Charles in a Pepsi commercial. Because I don't know if you remember that Pepsi commercial, but he was like, "You're the right one, baby."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right," and everybody went nuts. I'm saying, dog. I'm saying, when I tell you everybody in the cafeteria went nuts at that moment, I felt like I had just won a Grammy, a ESPY, a Dundee. Like I felt like I won every award there was.
That's so dope. Oh,
and that's the first time like one of I don't know if it was Monumental. I don't know who it was, but one of them like gave me props because they didn't really like Jamal anyway. So they gave me props. I mean, they're all cool now, but you know, high school beef, right? If you rap and I rap, then I hate you. That's how it works.
Exactly.
If you do the thing I do, then we're immediately in competition.
Exactly. All those for the day.
So this rap book that's actually Monumental's rap book. Now, there's no reason for me to own this. There's no reason for this to be in my possession. Why would his rap book be in my possession? So it just so happens that you guys, everybody, you guys remember Josh, right?
Yeah.
J.E. Shouts out to J.E. Double.
Yes.
His older brother, Tyler, was friends with all of those guys. So what I suspect happened was at some point, Will left that book at Josh's house. They moved to, I don't even remember where. And then it just so happened to be in a box or something. When I saw it, I scooped it up, didn't tell nobody, it was mine forever. So that is a part of my history. And that I will tell anybody who asks, Universal Live is the reason why I took rap seriously ever.
Shout out to Universal Live.
Absolutely.
We might have to do a reunion show.
Yo, I'm in. Amazing. I'm down. I know where everybody except Maverick is. I could get a hold of everybody except Maverick.
Okay.
Yeah, so we might have to be. We got to do it.
Yeah,
just do it. Do it.
So that could be cool. That
would definitely be amazing.
Yeah.
My next question for you, Bass, is, yes, well, you already told us who your favorite producer was. It's Timbaland, right?
Yeah.
Timbaland.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, when did you learn how to produce beats? Like, when was the first time, or what's your production process like? So, if you can give us that.
So, the very first time I ever produced a beat, I was probably in 7th grade, and I haven't been a producer like consistently throughout the time, but the very first beat I ever made was in 7th grade. My mom for Christmas bought me this software called Acid Pro Hip Hop. That's what it was called. It's called Acid Pro Hip Hop. That company doesn't even exist anymore. But and it just was a bunch of like loops. It was just a bunch of sounds, and you could put the sounds in the track and play it out. And I mean, these things sounded horrible, man. They sounded so bad. If I can find one, I promise you, if I can find one, I will gladly play it for you.
Okay.
But it was so bad. But I loved it, and I would have all my friends come over and I would play them for them, and God bless them, because I know them things were awful. I know they were awful, but they'd be like, yeah, okay. That's, all right.
They was your real friends. They was your real friends.
They sure was. But so that's the first time. And just being able to create, like just being able to sit down and just create something, even though it was awful, it was amazing. So fast forward to COVID, about I want to say maybe April, and I had just put out an EP, and then I was looking for more beats because I was like, I ain't doing nothing else, right? So I guess I'll rap. I guess I'll do that. So, and I was looking for beats and I couldn't find anything I liked, and I was just like, I was watching YouTube videos trying to figure out like what software should I get and how am I going to do this for the cheap, right? Because I wasn't trying to invest hundreds of dollars into this situation,
right?
And so, so I found a software called MP. So I was going to get an MPC, like a beat machine, but I wasn't trying to spend hundreds of dollars on that. And then I came across this YouTube video where it was just the software. So it was basically the beat machine, but in software. So I didn't have to buy anything. And so I just started playing around with that, and I just started making beats. So the very first thing I did was I just tried to create a beat, an industry beat. Like I just was like, I just listened to, and I don't remember what beat it was. What I created didn't sound nothing like it. I can tell you that for sure. Okay. But I was just like, okay, what snare sounds like that snare? What hi-hat sounds like that hi-hat? What keys sound like, those chords or whatever? Mm-hmm. And I just slowly put it together from there. And that's even part of my creative process now, right? Like when I'm stuck, when I don't know what to do, I'm just like, all right, well, let me play some industry beat, some song that everybody thinks is fire right now. While still trying to make something unique. So, yeah, I mean, that's my current process now, even.
So with you being familiar with like the instruments, right? Like, did you ever play? Like, how did you even know what instrument sound creates what sound? Like, where's that?
Honestly, just listening to sound. So there's this website called Splice. And Splice, I think, is like $10 a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if you go on the site, you can choose instrument. It's just sound after sound. It's just royalty-free sounds, right? And you can just listen. So after listening to about 1,000 of those samples, I can tell an accordion from a electric piano, and I can tell
amazing.
A violin from a I don't know, oboe or whatever, right? And it's just you just hear it. And just being in the world, just listening to music, you know what at least what a horn sounds like. You may not know which horn. Is it a trumpet, or is it an oboe, or is it a clarinet? But it's a horn, right?
Horns are my favorite instrument. Horns, yeah.
There you go. Yep. So if you heard enough oboes and clarinets next to each other, you'd be able to tell the difference between them. You'd be able to tell if it was a soprano or if it was an alto. Like I think you don't think of it in those terms. Yeah. But if you heard it, I think if you were to do a quiz on some instruments, I think you do pretty well. It's not as like, cause that's like one of the things that I do now, like as a producer, is like when I listen to other music, like I'll get caught up in listening to the beat and won't even hear the words. But that's been my problem for a long time though. Like so I don't listen to albums. I listen to songs, right? I have very few favorite albums, right? But I'll have like, and this happens to me all the time. Like I'll tell people, yo, my favorite song by this artist is, this one song. And they're like, oh yeah, I love that song. I love that album. You remember this song? And I'll be like, no, because I've never heard that song before. I only care about this one song from this one artist. So like, if you look at my iTunes, maybe my iTunes isn't a good example. If you look at like my title playlist, like you probably aren't going to find two artists the same, right? Like I just listened to just one song. Yeah. That's just how I do. And so but it's always beats. Like if the beat isn't hitting, then I'm probably not going to listen. And that's the funniest thing. That's always my argument when people are like, who do you prefer between like Jay-Z and Nas? I'm always going to choose Jay-Z because Nas does not have a good history of picking out good production. Nas is probably the better MC in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I can't ride around listening to a lot of Nas. And if I do, I'm going to pick the songs don't nobody like. Like I'm going to pick Owe Me Back. Like that's the song you owe me. That's the song. And that's going to be my favorite Nas song, right? If somebody's like, no, why isn't your favorite Nas song this song where he's talking about, these political injustices? Or I'm like,
but see, the beat wasn't good. So that's how I feel about Kendrick. He's one of my favorite artists and lyricists. But in terms of beats,
he just ain't got it. He ain't got it.
I wanted to have this conversation with someone because I'm like, am I tripping? Like, yo, I cannot listen. Everybody loves To Kill a Butterfly. I can't do it. I actually like the beats on his Untitled more than To Kill a Butterfly. But I'm like, yo, I couldn't get into it. I love it. I love tracks on it, but I don't love it as like a full thing because of,
I'd rather just read it. Just give me the lyrics and I'll read them. just give me the lyrics and I'll read them.
Yeah. So when people purchase your beats, do they ever like send the song back to you after it's done so you can hear
every time? Every single time. Every single time.
Really?
Every time. Yes. I don't know why. I guess because as a rapper, I guess we used to do that too, right? I guess when I bought a beat from a person I knew, I wasn't just rapping over an industry beat. Like I never sent any of my beats to Nelly, right? Because he don't care. But if I bought it from someone, I would always send, I don't know. I think you know what it is? I think part of it is you want them to be proud of what you've done. You know what I mean? You want them to be like, I'm so glad I gave the beat to you because you made something so great with it. I think that's, but yeah, every time. Every single time. One of my best customers, the person who's bought the most beats from me, supposedly he's working on an EP where it's just all my music. But every single time.
Who was it, Mike? Who was it?
I don't know if he wants me to. I don't know if he wants me to share.
I
don't know if he wants me to share.
Okay,
no, I didn't say. Okay. I don't know if he wants me to share. But supposedly he's doing an album where it's just my beats. As a matter of fact, he bought 4 beats from me, and then he commissioned me to make a beat. Right. So he's like, I want a beat that sounds like this, which is, as a producer, I love that. If somebody comes to me and says, yo, I want a beat that sounds like this, but has this sounds and has this feeling, that's so much better than me just making a beat. Because when I'm making a beat, I'm either making what I would want to hear, which I'm not going to buy the beat, so that don't help me. Or I'm making the beat I think y'all want to hear. And if I'm wrong, then that doesn't help me either.
Right? Yeah.
So
you need that energy. You need that like other people.
Siri was trying to talk to me.
I didn't hear. Yeah.
Anyway, it's so like when somebody comes to you and says, yo, this is exactly what I want. It's almost like a puzzle, right? Like I have to, like, for instance, this guy wanted me to do, there's this Black owned sneaker company. I encourage you guys, if you know anybody looking for sneakers or if you buy sneakers yourself, there's a Black owned sneaker company called rockdeep.com or Rock Deep Global or something. Anyway, all of the sneakers are mostly under $100. They all look fantastic. Anyway, he's doing a commercial. Yeah, check them out. Like, that's a real endorsement. Check them out. But he's doing a commercial and he's like, I want you to make me a score, right? Like that I want it to sound like this particular song from, you guys remember Inception?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to sound like this particular song from Inception. And so I bring it up and I'm like, yo, I'm finna kill. So I made it sounds almost exactly like it, but I did different chords and different progressions and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And that was so much more fun than when I get, like, I made a beat, like, okay, the beat that I sent you guys, the OOUU Pod exclusive, it's called Rump Roast. If you're familiar, are you guys familiar with Mulatto? Are you Mulatto fans? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you listen to Mulatto's most recent video, In and Out, same beat. It's the same beat.
Okay.
It's the same beat. So if you listen to the drums, the only thing that's different is the melody. So if you listen to the drums from In and Out and the drums from Rump Roast, it's the same drums. I just copied because I was like, I don't know what to create. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to make a beat today. That's how it works. Today I'm making a beat.
I gotta go back and listen to that.
And see, the thing is with Mulatto, I've been following her since she was little, since she was on the show. Playing the pre, so for her to be coming out now, and it's like, ooh, everybody like, ooh,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's how I felt about Meg Thee Stallion too, because I feel like she's been rapping since she was like 4, and I don't know how we're just now. I don't know how everybody else is just now hearing about her, but I feel like she's been doing shows for like 10 years. Yeah. So I don't know how that works. That's always interesting to me, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But so with your creating style, how long does it normally take you to make a beat? So how long does it take you?
So once upon a time, the answer to that was like 3 hours. And mostly because the easy part to making a beat is making a beat, like listening to the sounds and all of that. The hard part is the editing, right? Like trying to make the sound perfect, so the answer now is probably like 30 minutes. And that's because I've created all these templates and stuff. So now I know how I want my hi-hats to sound every time. So I just created a template that makes it sound like that. And then I just drop the hi-hats in. So, it usually doesn't take that long. And that's why I wanted it. That's why hopefully we get an opportunity and I can make one live.
Oh yeah, we getting that opportunity. We doing it. We already, it's already
inspired me too. I mean,
I'm not playing no games. We doing that.
This is definitely a long-term goal for me, but I want to get into DJing and I want to also make beats too. And because I do the edits for the podcast, that's really what inspired me the most. So like, I can do this.
Because see, Danny's is that's her thing. She does the edits. Me, I'm the script writing. I'm the person who's doing all this. And that's how we work. That's how we do this team.
I love it. And it's so funny. I never noticed this before, but producers and DJs use a lot of the same tools, and they have to know a lot about the same. They have to know the same things about sound, right? And so most producers are DJs and most DJs are producers just because they kind of go hand in hand. And also as a DJ, you get a unique glimpse into what's hot like right away. You know what I mean? And I have the cheat code to create the perfect beat because you know what everybody wants.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'd ever be a DJ only because the person who's taught me the most about making beats, you know, so far has been DJ Soundwave. And
that's what I was getting ready to ask you. That was the next question.
I think he'd probably try to kill me if I became a DJ. I for real do. Cause he hate like when what's the girl name? When Erykah Badu became a DJ, he was so upset. Like he hates, and I get it, but he hates when regular people just become DJ. Like how you just gonna become a DJ? Like not like studied it and learn how to like and are actually making good mixes, but just I am who I am, so I'm gonna press play on this Spotify playlist at this club tomorrow.
No, and I don't want, and that's so funny because I'm not that person. I don't want to be that person, you know.
No.
And what's really interesting, I don't even know if I told you this, Reed, but my daughter's school, the school she goes to, they have their extracurricular. Do you know they have a class? An extracurricular class for the art of DJing, and a DJ of 105.1 from up here is the teacher.
Wow.
Yes.
That's dope. She needs to be in there.
She don't want to. She tried.
Wow.
I wish we would have had that back then. I would have been like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Right. I definitely wouldn't have been in. Wouldn't have been in child development. I definitely wouldn't have been in child growth and development.
All the classes. Danielle and Ronnie talking about they took piano. I said, where was piano at?
I took piano too. Yes.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
What was his name? What was the teacher name? He was a trip. Mr. Clary. Mr. Clary. Do you know to this day this man keeps sending me different articles on Facebook and Facebook Messenger? I'm like, Mr. Clary, Salone Clary, to this day, send me article, and the articles don't be no relationship to none of the articles. They'll just send me an article like, you know, this is the most popular food in Poland right now. And I'm like, dude, are you well? Like, what's going on? Anyway, but I'll say nothing. I'll be like, thank you, Mr. Clary. That's it. I don't read it. I don't click the link or nothing.
Shout out to Miss Davies, because Miss Davies.
Oh, she does the same thing. She
but it's always. We love you.
Yes.
Y'all ready for this blast from the past real quick? Since we keep talking about Mr. Clary and Miss Davies. Okay. All right. I got 3 things.
Okay.
First thing, I still, for whatever reason, to this day have 2 graduation tickets. Because we got 4, and only 2 people wanted to come to my graduation. The saddest, but I have 2 graduations.
Oh my God!
The little end part ain't even been ripped off.
June 10th. That's like one of my favorite days. Oh my
June 10th.
God!
Wow.
Here's the second one. When's the last time y'all seen one of these?
Oh no! Oh, you're just laminated.
This was my student aid permanent pass. So when you had student aid, which was basically just running errands for whatever teacher you were student aid for, then you had a laminated one. So it was connected to my ID right there.
My cheek hurt from smiling. Oh my God!
Oh, that brings back.
Shouts out to Mr. Gravage.
Yes.
And then here's the last one. Y'all gonna love this.
Oh my God.
Look, the circles around for Rita.
Yes.
What the hell? Oh, look at Maya. Oh God.
Hey, yo, what was you doing?
I don't know what none of y'all had going on.
I still do that though. I still do that.
Yes, you do. And look at DJ Stiletto.
Right.
Come on now.
You know her.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my God.
As soon as I was looking through my closet earlier and I found my box of old stuff and I was like, oh, they finna get these treasures today.
They finna
get this throwback.
I love it.
They finna get this throwback today.
So. Always photogenic. You always had the best.
You know, I was ready. I'm ready.
Hey, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You can't never be off guard if you ain't never off guard.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
So so the beat, Senor Mi Dos.
Yeah, Señor Mi Dos. That's my favorite. I love that.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
No, Señor Mi Dos.
Señor Mi Dos. Your beat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How long did it take you to do that?
Okay, those always take significantly longer because the hardest part of that is just trying to get the tempo. I know that shouldn't be the hardest part, but the hardest part is just so hard to figure out the tempo. You would think like every beat should be at 65 beats per minute or 70 beats per minute or 75 per minute, but like they be like 64.182, and I'm like, who did that? And so I don't know if it's something with recording or like after it's mastered, or maybe like I get a lot of my instrumentals from YouTube. So maybe the person who uploaded it did something to it, but that's always the hardest part. And even when I get it perfect, I still have to go into Pro Tools and like cut little pieces out so that it fits. And the thing about it is if it doesn't fit perfectly, it immediately sounds horrible. It sounds so bad. So just stressing over that part of it sometimes is what takes forever. So that probably took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
It probably took me a significant amount of time. Yeah.
So which one is your favorite beat that you created so far? Or is that hard?
That's like picking a favorite child.
I know. See, I was like, is that hard?
Okay,
so you can. Why don't you give your top 3 then?
Okay. I would say. Okay.
And this is the plug. I'm
okay.
These for sale, right?
Yeah.
$19.99, right?
Yeah. The prices went up.
They went up.
It's 20. It's 20. It's not by a lot. Not by a lot. They 25 now. They 25.
Okay, you better put the price on
not
it.
by a lot. I would say number 1 is probably Fuel Efficient.
Okay.
Number 2 is the remix that I did for Move That Dope, which is called Narcotics Transportation Services. I love that beat so much. I love it so much. And then 3.
I cannot.
3.
When I have a child, I'm gonna have him name her. Or
Yes.
The names, I swear.
That's what takes you over the top. It is what it is. That's the name.
And what's the third?
3. Okay. I would say 3 is probably okay. The name of this beat is called Large, Medium, Small Kids Meal. But the reason why the name of the beat is called Large, Medium, Small Kids Meal is because the sample is actually from a Wendy's training video where it shows you how to make chili and how to make Frosties. And one of the lyrics in the song is Large, Medium, Small Kids Meal. But I need y'all to listen to the song. I need you to listen to the actual training video because the day I found this training video, and I'm not joking, I know I play and kid a lot. I was laughing at this video for like an hour straight because the dude on there is singing his heart out. I've never heard anybody sing about chili like this. He's singing his heart out, yo. You knew this was his big break. He was like, if I can just nail this Wendy's training video, I'm getting signed. There's no question.
Mike, send it to me ASAP.
I promise you.
I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna insert it.
So I mean, was he singing about beans and the meat and
so he was singing? So it's the training video. So he's singing about how to prepare the chili correctly, right? Where how much cheese to scoop out, how much chili goes in the bowl. If you eat, so you probably didn't notice. If you're eating in at Wendy's, they put it in a bowl. If you're getting it to go, they put it in the cup. So you didn't know that. But I know that because I watched the training video where he sang about it. When I tell you this man was singing his heart out, though, like I need you to hear it. And so I sampled that. I also sampled Chicken Head by Project Pat. Oh, yeah. So I sampled both the Wendy's training video and Chicken Head. Now when I posted the beat, I subtitled it "Rims on the Cadillac" because that's the part of the song that I sampled, so that people wouldn't try to figure out what Large, Medium, Small Kids Meal was about. But I named all of my beats like that. I have a beat called Tequila, and hold on, where is it? Oh, I took it downstairs. No, I'm not gonna get it. But Tequila is literally just the brand name of the water bottle that I was drinking out of when I made the beat. That's it.
That is beautiful. That's art. That's beautiful. So we see what inspires you, everything around you. Like
just
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. I'm the worst kind of creative because I'm easily inspired, but I'm also like easily defeated. So it's like, so that's why I make when I'm like, I'm going to make a beat, I just make anything because I know I'm going to make something right now. If I wait too long or if I think too hard, I'm just going to be like, never mind, I'm going to play video games. Yeah. So that's probably not a good trait. Like I wouldn't share that with the kids.
But you know it, you're aware of it. And that's how you're able to like,
amen.
What is it? Balance it out. Yeah.
Amen.
So what's up next for Mass Potential?
Hopefully hundreds of sales per day because I want to quit my job. I'm a project manager. And on my wall of beautiful things, as you can see, my project manager certification is up there. And the reason it's up there is because that's the hardest I ever worked to do anything. Taking it's a 5-hour test.
That's what you have to do. Don't you have to take classes as well?
You have to take classes. You also have to have like 7 years experience.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. No project manager who's ever sat for this test has not lied about how much experience they have. That's the name of the game. But anyway, and so I like being a project manager, but I more so like managing projects than I like actually working as a project manager. And I said all of that to say, I need y'all to buy these beats so that I can be a producer and manage those projects and not these projects.
Yeah, back come out and get Mass Potential's beats.
So that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
If you guys know, or if anybody listening out there wants to help, I am great at creating. I'm great at customer service. I'm great at everything there is to do with a business except marketing. I couldn't market my way out of this house with my keys in my hand. I am the worst. I am the worst. I don't get it. I don't have it. Whatever it is, I don't have it, bro. Yeah. And so if anybody want to help me with that or know where to point me in the right direction or something, I'll pay for it. I don't have it.
I'll pay for
whatever it is. I don't have it, bro. So anyway, so that's what's next for me. If I can just capture that, if I can lock that down, I think I'd be in a much better place. So that's my goal. I actually today before we got on, I was like, man, I might have to just learn this myself. I don't want to, but I was watching some YouTube videos about, SEO and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But it's not what I want to do.
Well, maybe you could create a team. So anybody listening out there on the OOUU Pod, if you are, down to make a partnership and do the marketing and, hey, we got somebody for you, Mass Potential. He's looking.
Let's do it.
So what's the best advice that you've received, like being in the music industry?
Don't delete it. Whether it's a song you think ain't great, a beat you think ain't great, an idea you had, write it down. Do not delete it. If you don't like it, put in a folder called beats I don't like or songs I don't like. Do not erase it. Don't delete it. And I can't tell you how many of the beats, like I've got since May, I think I tallied it the other day. I made 70 beats. Wow. I can't tell you how many of those 70 beats was about to throw away. And instead I just walked away for the day and came back like, yo, if I just change this joint is fire. Right. So I think the best advice that I ever got or that I could ever give is no matter what you think about that thing you just created, no matter how bad you think it is, do not delete it. Because I promise you, it'll be something some other day. Some other day you'll come through. Or one of the very first beats I ever sold was a beat that I thought was absolutely awful. And I still don't think it's great, but somebody else did. Cool. $20, please. That's it. You know what I mean? So just don't,
Yes. Oh, and you know what? Because we're about to wrap it up because, we don't have a pro. But quick question, though. Like, what's up with these contracts? Like, with the people that have, like, beats on the internet and they got these contracts where you got to pay, like, hundreds of dollars for a package and then you're signing, like, 50% of the rights to them. Like, how do you decipher, like, what really, like, what tools or what should you know when you're looking to get a contract from a beat maker or a producer? Like, what really makes sense? That's like
absolutely. So I can tell you most so you really got two kind of producers. You got guys who are working at what I call factories where these guys, they just make beats. You probably don't see them as often as I do, but you'll see like these Instagram ads and it'll be like, 20 beats for $7, right? And you're like, how are you selling 20 beats for $7? Like what? And they make, and what those guys do is they have these drum patterns. They got the boom, boom, tss, boom, 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 tss, and they just copy and paste that and put different melodies over it. So those 20 beats you getting are all gonna sound exactly the same with different, this one got keys and this one got horns, right? They're the same.
Okay.
Which is fine. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. And then you got folks who know that they're making something incredible and they want 50%. That's it. The average beat split is 50%. That's just how it is. Now, if you're Jay-Z, you're not getting 50% of Jay-Z's beat. I don't care how Just Blaze you are. He's not giving you 50%, right? But most media, like Mulatto's giving out 50%, right? Yeah. But Cardi B probably isn't anymore, right? She probably was at one point. She probably isn't anymore. But that's pretty standard, right? Splitting your points 50% is pretty standard. But I mean, I'll say about a music contract what I say about every contract. And this is coming from somebody who writes contracts professionally and somebody who responds to government contracts and all of that. A contract is literally just what the two people who are signing it says it is. So it's always negotiable. It's always, no two of them are going to look exactly the same. And anybody who's getting you to sign a contract that says this is a standard contract is trying to hide for something from you, right? They're trying to protect themselves from something, right? Because they know that you can argue for something else just as easily as I can argue against it. So I would say that, just read it.
That's good.
Read it. So I'd say more, but I know we're going to get cut off.
Yeah.
So let everyone know who you rocking with, Mass Potential.
OOUU POD, of course.
Yeah.
Who else is there to rock with?
Nobody else. Is the only one. Well, thank you, Mike. It was good speaking to you. It's not going to be the last time.
Absolutely not.
All right. Enjoy your day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.